Welcome. So, if you're studying enterprise solution management, you know it can feel a little abstract, right? But what if I told you that by the end of this short explainer, you'll be able to break it all down using a master chef's kitchen and a Hollywood film crew? Sound good? Let's get started. All right, here's our game plan for today. First up, we're going to tackle what an enterprise solution even is by thinking of a company like a person. Then we'll head into a high-end kitchen, and after that, we're off to a movie set. Stick with me, I promise it's all going to make perfect sense. Okay, first things first. I want you to imagine a company not as some boring building or a logo, but as a living, breathing thing. Well, that's exactly what an enterprise solution is. It's the digital brain and the nervous system for a company. It's the one thing that connects every single part of the business, letting it think and react and act as one single coordinated unit. Just look at the slide here. You've got finance, HR, sales, all these different parts of a company, and they're all connected to that central system. This means that when a customer places an order, the sales team knows, the warehouse knows, and the accounting department knows, all at the same time. No more silos. It's that simple. And this isn't some small niche topic. We are talking about a massive global market. Just look at that number. It's projected to be worth over $315 billion. So understanding how these systems work isn't just for the IT crowd anymore. It's a critical business skill for literally everyone. So what happens when a company gets this digital nervous system? Well, it basically gains superpowers. Suddenly, everyone's working from the same playbook. That's what we call a single source of truth. It automates all the boring stuff, right? But most importantly, it just breaks down those invisible walls between departments. And the result? You get a faster, smarter, and way more resilient organization. So, we've got the company's nervous system. Great. But how do we actually manage it to create consistent, high-quality value for our customers? Well, for that, we need to step out of the office and into a master chef's kitchen. Now, the very first rule of this kitchen is something you absolutely need to remember for your exam. Notice this quote here. There is no silver bullet. ITIL 4 isn't some rigid, step-by-step recipe you have to follow exactly. It's more like a professional chef's playbook. It gives you the guidelines, sure, but you have to adapt them to your own kitchen, your own ingredients, and, of course, your own customers. Think about it. A master chef doesn't just plop a plate on the table and walk away. No way. They talk to the customer, they understand their tastes, and they create an amazing experience together. And that's the modern view of service management. Value is something that is co-created. Now, to make all this magic happen, everyone in the kitchen, from the head chef all the way down to the line cook, they all need to be speaking the same language. And in ITIL, that language is built on these 4 Ps. You have to be crystal clear on your purpose. That's your why, your participants, your who, your process, your how, and your product, your what. This is really the foundation for everything that comes next. And this is where it gets really interesting. That first P, purpose, can often be boiled down to one single powerful number, your North Star metric. Take a look at this table. For a company like Airbnb, it's not how many listings or how much revenue, it's nights booked. See? That one number captures the core value they provide, and it aligns the entire company from the engineers to the marketers on one single goal. Okay, so think of the entire system that runs the kitchen. I mean, from the moment a customer makes a reservation to that final happy smile on their face. That whole thing is the ITIL Service Value System, or SVS. It's the complete operating model for turning demand into value. And for this system to work perfectly, these 4 essential stations of the kitchen have to be in total harmony. You need the right people, the right tools and information, really reliable suppliers, and super efficient workflows. If even one of those fails, well, the whole dish is ruined. Okay, let's keep going. We have our company's nervous system, we've got the chef's playbook, but who are the people actually making all of this happen? For this, let's leave the kitchen and head over to a Hollywood film set. To make a great movie, you can't just have one camera, right? You need a bunch of different angles to capture the whole story. Well, it's the exact same for a successful IT project. You need that high-level strategic view from the director, the hands-on operational view from the crew on the ground, and that detailed technical view to make sure all the equipment is actually running the way it should. This slide just lays it out perfectly. The CTO, that's your film's director, setting the vision. The enterprise architects are like the screenwriters, creating the blueprint, and the project managers, they're the producers, the ones making sure everything happens on time and on budget. everybody has a critical, really specific role to play in making sure the final product is a blockbuster hit. So, how do you make sure your film crew has the right skills for their roles? Well, the industry actually has an official script for that, and it's called the Skills Framework. Just think of it like a professional guide that breaks down the exact skills and know-how needed for every single role, from the director all the way to the lighting technician. It's how you make sure the whole production is a masterpiece. All right, let's bring it all home and recap your script for success. Okay, let's boil this all down to your study cheat sheet. If you remember nothing else from this, remember these 3 core analogies. The nervous system, that explains what an enterprise solution is. The chef's kitchen, that explains how you manage it using ITIL 4. And the film crew, that explains who makes it all happen. If you can lock those 3 ideas in your head, you'll be able to explain these really complex topics with total confidence. And that just leaves us with one final thought. As you move forward in your studies, in your career, you've now seen the whole production. The question is, which part of this exciting, dynamic field will you choose to direct?